I always thought the title Year of Hell was a bit dramatic. Now after living in 2020, I'm just grateful it isn't the decade of hell. As I continue through my epic Star Trek Voyager rewatch, I eventually kicked my way around to the 1997 two-part episode, Year of Hell. The two-parter, in my opinion, might just be Star Trek Voyager at its best. While I have enjoyed my time with Voyager thus far,
it's a work of art. That ship wasn't assembled, it was sculpted. I think I'm in love.
It's been a bit of an uneven rewatch, something I plan on perhaps addressing with a Lost and Found series review in the future. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. For those a bit unaware or perhaps a bit absent-minded of the episode, Voyager and the crew stumble upon a part of space that is constantly changing. During this point in Krenim space, a giant time-ship weapon is altering life as we know it by removing events, places, or species to restore a timeline. This is called a temporal incursion. The first incursion was used to wipe out a race that Krenim was in a war with, but unfortunately resulted in the commanding scientist, Anarax, played by Kurtwood Smith, to lose his wife. Thus, he would go on a merry chase to recreate the timeline for well over 200 years. Voyager is a solid Trek show. It's far from perfect and features a lot of issues, some of which that didn't plague prior or future Trek shows. Among these many issues was its lack of consequences to the 75,000 light-year journey.
Hull breaches on deck 6 through 12.
Impulse engines.
Still offline.
How about emergency power?
Barely enough for life support, Captain.
Lost power to the new holodeck grid.
They've damaged our deflector, Captain.
Two dampers are offline. The driver coil assembly has been destroyed.
We've got EPS relays burnt out all over the ship.
I'm not getting any response from the warp or impulse drives.
Despite the journey taking place far from home, with Voyager constantly on the run with little to no help, it didn't really feel as a lot was affected on the ship, the people, or the journey at hand. In a 2008 interview with Trek Movie, Ronald D. Moore, longtime writer for Trek, who would eventually go on to create the reboot for Battlestar Galactica, had this to say about Voyager. I remember sitting with the writing staff and saying, I really think that when Voyager gets damaged, it should get damaged. We should stop repairing the ship. The ship should be broken down more and devolving a little bit more. This thought ended up being one of the fascinating elements displayed in his show, Battlestar Galactica. It is also one of my favorite parts of Year of Hell. Throughout the episode, Voyager continues to battle through Krenim space. This in the midst of multiple time incursions that greatly change the region, adjusting and increasing the danger that Voyager faces, during which Voyager is taking considerable amounts of damage. By the end, the ship is a complete disaster and ran by a total of 7 people. It's by the end that you feel this immense weight. Every decision is so important. It loses that rinse and repeat concept that Trek is known for and puts our characters at wits with not only the circumstances and the enemy, but each other. Voyager had a healthy list of villains in the Delta Quadrant, from their long battles with the Borg to their encounters with the Hirogen. It's practically a laundry list. You even got, of course, the ridiculous Kazon. Trek is pretty consistent with intelligent writing, but why does this species have warp technology and powerful weaponry, but not the ability to create some source of water? Anywho, the point I'm making is the tragic love story of one Anarax, played by Red Foreman, Kurtwood Smith.
How'd you like to own a little bit of my foot in your ass?
Anarax's obsession with recreating what he lost is in a sense creating his own form of perfection.
Sir, we have just accomplished the impossible. A 98% restoration. Another incursion, even a minor one, could undermine everything.
As seen with the percentages used throughout the episode. Time is a duplicitous bitch and continues to leave Anarax short of his perfection, recreating the life he once had with his loving wife. Ironically, throughout the episode, Anarax holds his own opinion of time travel much higher than everyone else.
Had you actually eradicated that comet, all life within 50 light years would never have existed. Congratulations, you almost wiped out 8,000 civilizations.
When time offers you an opportunity, you don't ignore it.
You seem to understand the subtleties of time.
But continues to make the same mistake, repeating over and over the impossibility of perfection to the limits of pure insanity. It's a fascinating study of one man's obsession with love and recreating his once great life at the cost of many. The ironic thing is the ancient old time has a way of repeating itself at the end of the episode. Year of Hell is one of, if not the best episode of Voyager. It shows our characters at great danger, so much so that they continue to lose the ones around them and their home. It puts you on edge throughout the entire episode as time continues to change and the stakes get even bigger. The climax at the end of part 2 is a great sequence that shows Janeway at her end, dying, saving her crew, and hopefully resetting the timeline.
Time's up.
It's everything Voyager probably should have been, but made for one hell of an intense, entertaining, and memorable hour of television.